This is the Hamilton Khaki Mechanical. Newly released with a blue dial and a new bronze model with a white dial, it felt like the perfect time to mention why this watch should be at the top of the list of every new collector. If history matters, and let's face it, it does, it is next to impossible to find a watch of this caliber and this price range with the history of Hamilton Watch Company. I know it's hard to believe with 90% of watches today branded Swiss made, but believe it or not, America shares a rich history of watchmaking. And had it not been for the Great Depression, probably still would to this very day. In fact, it was America that was the leader in watches during the late 1800s and early 1900s, bringing in the ability to mass produce interchangeable parts from one watch manufacturer to another using machines developed by the Waltham Watch Company. Those methods would later be picked up and adopted by the Swiss and are still in use to this day. America spawned watch companies such as Ball, founded by Webb C. Ball, the chief time inspector of the Michigan Southern Railway, and Elgin, a watch that simply cannot be overlooked if you're looking at watches from the World War II era. It was a company called Keystone Standard Watch Company and Aurora Watch Company that came together, and they merged and created Hamilton. Pretty much, you mention a railroad watch today and most enthusiasts will immediately think of the Ball Watch Company. You mentioned Hamilton and I believe most people will think of a field watch or military style watch. But Hamilton actually started off making pocket watches that were railroad standard. They were certified to be used by the railroad conductors. They had some of the absolute tightest tolerances of their time, even some that would rival today's, with accuracies that were plus or minus 3 seconds per day. Hamilton became a big military watchmaker in 1942 when they halted production. They stopped making civilian watches to be sold to the public and started producing watches for the US military. They actually went on to produce over 1 million watches and were awarded the E Award for excellence during wartime production. Today, Hamilton claims you can find over 500 movies and TV shows where Hamilton is, at the very least, a co-star, even boasting on their website an image of the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, wearing one of the early versions of the Ventura, which later went on to become the official watch of the Men in Black, which is clearly a franchise that needs no introduction. One of my favorite, but I believe it's a little bit overpriced and it's a little bit oversized, is the Field Khaki Murph that was used in the movie Interstellar. It has Morse code on the second hand spelling out the word Eureka. If Hamilton ever produced this watch in say like a 40 millimeter and I could pick one up at a deal on the pre-owned market, I would definitely probably add that watch to my collection. For those of you that have not been following along, I am giving away 5 Seiko5s over the course of 5 videos, this being number 2. The rules are simple. All you have to do is find a way to comment the words Hamilton and Seiko in the same sentence, like the video, and that is it. By the way, the winner of watch number 1 will be chosen over the next few days, so keep an eye out. I will be uploading a short announcing the winner. So here it is, the Hamilton Khaki, which in my opinion is the best option for a fully mechanical, unbelievable cool watch that can be picked up anywhere close to what this watch can be acquired for. The Khaki retails for, I believe, $595, but can be picked up pre-owned just about any given day for a few $100s. I have a 7.5-inch wrist and I do wish this watch was available in 40 millimeter, but at 38 millimeter with a case thickness of 9.5 millimeter, the Khaki Field will work on just about any wrist size. With this said, does wear a bit larger than standard 38 millimeter due to the 47 millimeter lug to lug distance. The Khaki, holding true to a military style field watch design, was built with a NATO strap in mind, making a makeover as easy as spending a few bucks and changing the color of your strap. The sandblasted finish, lacking even a bit of high polish, makes it very apparent that this watch was meant to be worn and used as a tool and does not even remotely try to disguise itself as a dress watch. The in-house caliber H50 is based off an ETA 2801-2 and is fully mechanical and beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour. Hamilton slowed down the beat rate from the original ETA movement that was 28,800 vibrations per hour and extended the power reserve to an unbelievable 80 hours. And I must admit, not one watch in my collection has a power reserve of 80 hours. I personally always like to hit the internet and see what people's thoughts are on the watches that I'm looking at. And when checking out the Hamilton Khaki, I was kind of taken back at some of the comments. People were disappointed at the fact that there was no screw down crown, that the watch only had 50 meters of water resistance, the fact that the sapphire crystal wasn't coated, the fact that the movement was fully mechanical and you had to wind the watch in order to wear it. One person even suggested it was ridiculous to purchase the Khaki when you could easily get the Hamilton Expedition, which had better water resistance and was an automatic watch. That person also forgot to mention that that watch is nearly twice the price. All this got me fired up, thinking who the hell would want a watch with only 50 meters of water resistance? How could I in good conscience recommend this watch to anyone? How was it I was even considering this watch for myself? It was at best a fleeting thought as I looked down at my wrist and I reminded myself of my beloved Omega Speedmaster that I wear almost daily. It's a manual winding watch, has no screw down crown, and bears the same 50 meters of water resistance as the Hamilton. My bet, if I had to make one, is the guy who was beating Hamilton up for all the shortcomings, he would happily wear the Speedmaster if had the opportunity. Look, here's the bottom line. If you are one that finds yourself diving to the depths of the ocean, or for that matter, even a swimming pool, maybe this watch is not the one for you. Or better yet, pick one up anyway and just don't wear it in the water. That's my take on the Khaki. If you are still here, I just want to say thank you. I hope you will consider subscribing, and I will see you on the next one.